Thank you. I wanted to say thank you for everybody that was here. You guys are doing a great job. I don't know if you get told that very often, but you're the front line in America, and I appreciate you so much. I appreciate everybody that's here that's a little bit in the older crowd. The younger crowd is waking up, next generation. My question is, are you Muslim, sir?
I'm an ex-Muslim.
I'm an ex-Muslim.
An ex-Muslim, okay. If anybody would like to answer this question who's a Muslim in the crowd, when Islam says that Jesus, if people say that Jesus was the Son of God, kill them if they believe in it, and also that he was never crucified, that somebody was put on the cross in his place, how can those, especially the first one about killing someone if they believe that Jesus was the Son of God, how can that be a religion of peace? And for you, since you recited that, I thought that maybe you were initially a Muslim. But is there anybody in the audience that's a Muslim and can tell me how Islam is a religion of peace if it preaches killing someone who believes that Jesus Christ was the Son of God?
You can ask your question from the speakers, I guess.
There's no Muslim up here.
But I was a former Muslim, so if there's no Muslim to answer this, when I used to be a Muslim, I never, the way we think about it, when I was a Muslim, I never thought calls on killing non-Muslim were evil. Actually, we always, Islam really makes your mind think differently from logical Western thinking. We can incorporate two opposite ideas at the same time and feel perfectly comfortable with it. For instance, we used to learn that Islam is a religion of peace. And at the same time, we didn't feel any conflict when we would say, but go kill the Jews. We never thought about it as it conflicts the value system of logic. And this is the tragedy that most Muslims, the majority of Muslims, have no clue about the religion analytically. To them, it's all emotion. It's my father's religion. It's the only religion I can believe in, and it has to be right. We were told the Quran, word by word, was from God directly, and the way they recite it is so rhythmic and so emotional that really it feels very chilling. I mean, until today, if you hear the men recite it, he could be saying in the recitation, kill the infidels, but it sounds so holy. So holiness and killing are not something, when you're a Muslim, they don't conflict with one another. It has become such a sick ideology that Muslims must wake up and examine the religion, really examine the religion. But until today, they don't have the courage to do that. After the revolution in Egypt, I didn't see one person in Tahrir Square carrying a sign that says separation of mosque and state, even though that they know very well that if they apply Sharia, they will never have a democracy.
I'd like to add a bit to that about the peace by giving you a quick historical anecdote you might find useful, which is basically the word peace in Islam has an etymological connection to the word submit. And this is actually sort of the game that a lot of Muslims play. They say Islam means peace, and in a way it does. Salam comes from the same root as Islam, which is submit, which is the name of the religion. And it's a kind of a historical thing that Muhammad, according to Islamic tradition, used to send letters to the early Christian kings, for instance, in Egypt and in Constantinople. And he would say, Aslam Taslam. And basically what that means is submit, have peace. And so there's a corollary between submitting, which of course brings about a lot of violence and bloodshed and killing, and then that leads to peace. And so that's why, going back to your question, how is this religion of peace if you're out to kill people? The logic is that I'm out to kill them to create peace because they're so, they're not cooperating. They're the bad guys. So we have to break them and make them submit, and then it's peace.
Also remember, Islamic law is the law of Allah, who is the supreme God. And so it's perfect justice. So the idea is to establish the rule of Islamic law over the world, which is peace. And so you have to kill people on the way to that. That's not violence. That's justice.
It's jihad.
And so you have a lot of Muslims condemning terrorism, and then when you look at their statements more closely, they're condemning Israel and the United States, but not like the Twin Towers or the Fort Hood shootings or something like that, because those things aren't terrorism. They're justice in the service of peace.